Hello, everyone. Welcome to my channel. Today, I am starting a kind of a semi talk show. Hopefully, everything goes well today. Um, Today's topic is on cosplay. Hopefully, everyone enjoys this. And we are going to have a guest right now. He's on his way home from work. He should be here soon. Once he arrives, then we'll bring him up. To start off, let's go ahead and do a little intro song first. And welcome, Life of Alan, Mezaza Super Adventure, GWG Pitbull, if you're still here, Sunny Stormy, I know you left, but I hope you're having a good day. Tim Holmes and Rachel D&G Explores PTV Rob Matem. I hope I got that channel correct. Yes, I've let it grow out since the last time I've done a live. So, you got enough for all of us, Alan? Okay. But, let me... Yeah, I'm good. Why, thank you, May. So, today's topic is kind of a fun topic. Because, one, I am a part of this world and doing it. I've joined this world. I'm becoming a member of a few groups. Some of the major... So, that will be my... I'll actually start my live streams with that every... Ooh. Okay. And I'm also going to start every show with a daily devotion or a devotional for that Friday, as well as a Bible verse, which it's going to be the same Bible verse every week, but the devotionals are going to be different every week. So hopefully you guys are okay with that, with the religious part. So let me turn on the light here so I can see a little better. And actually, my actual reading glasses are in the car. Okay, so here, this is the verse that I'll be doing every week when I start. It is Psalm 23, and most of you should know it. A lot of us do go through this a lot. Okay, so it is, the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside still waters. He restores my soul. He leads me in paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil. For you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil. My cup overflows. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I shall dwell in the house of the Lord forever. And the devotional for this Friday comes from Philippians chapter 1, verses 12 through 14. It says, "Now, I want you to know, brothers and sisters, that what has happened to me was actually served to advance the gospel. As a result, it has become clear throughout the whole palace guard and to everyone else that I am in chains for Christ. And because of my chains, most of the brothers and sisters have become confident in the Lord and dare all the more to proclaim the gospel without fear." So what this is a letter from Paul to the Philippians, and he's saying that his constraints became the platform for the advancement of the gospel of Christ. The circumstances are not able to impede this never-ending kingdom that Christ has created for us. This all goes beyond who we are. If God can take Paul's imprisonment to advance the gospel, what can we do? What can God do with us today when we feel constrained, afraid, and filled with anxiety? Take your eyes off of yourself and see the opportunities that are all around you, which means 365-yard carry. Why, hello, 365. How are you? I thank you for that. So just remember to always uh, look around and enjoy what you have around you, because one day it could not be there. So, actually, let me really quickly. Uh, Make sure my guest has the. Well, I'm doing good. I'm doing really good. I just got to make sure my guest has the link for today's talk show. I'll be. Oh, and please share this out. If you're new to my channel, go ahead and hit that red banner down below. It's in a different language. Don't worry about what it actually says. It means YouTubian. It's in Russian. So that's why it's spelled that way. It's actually YouTubian. Hit that red banner, support me, roll my bones, and then also ring the doorbell so you get notified on when I go live like this on Fridays at 4 p.m. and when I drop new content. So give me a second while I do this. And share it out myself. Okay. All right, let me. And there will probably be some of these little talk show things that are a little controversial, so I hope you guys will also come to those and behave. Ground rules for this: I will not tolerate any bullying. You will get one warning. If you keep up a second or third, you will be kicked out from this live stream. We're here to have fun and enjoy our time together. And also, Kirsten! If you want a good channel, I'm watching someone who makes really good wood art. Go to that channel. Support her. Kirsten Music and Life, she's a really good person. And she makes some incredible wood art. You would not believe how amazing it looks. So, with that out of the way, let me get started. Actually, let me first share this out. Like I said I was going to do. I was going to do. So, give me M. Thank you for stopping by, Smurfalicious. I'm M. Write me on Messenger. I want to ask you a question. I've already got Jamie. I've already talked to Jamie about this, but I want to talk to you about something. So, yeah, today, since this is the start of this little talk show type thing, I decided to go with a fun little topic that I enjoy, and that is, as the title says, is cosplay. Cosplay is, most people think, is childish and for geeks. You would believe how many people actually do cosplay. There are a bunch of. You've got events like Comic Con, LA Comic Con, Long Beach Comic Con, WonderCon, stuff like that. And these are done all around the world. So it's not just here in America. There are a bunch of cons that go on around the world. Then you've got the other major one, Star Wars Celebration. That's yes, there is nothing wrong with being a geek. I enjoy that. So, um, for American cosplay, well, it says here. Let's just do this. Yes, let's do just the Chrome tab, and we're going to do this one. All right. Yes, Dutch Comic Con is very. I think I've never seen stuff from there, but that is, I think, actually pretty. Would be a cool one. Okay. Let me. Like so. Okay. Hopefully, all of you can see that. That's it. Some people think it's a hobby. To others, it's an actual lifestyle. But cosplay is basically costuming, dressing up as a character, and entering a world away from reality, which is what's cool about cosplay because it takes you can. There's so much stuff that you can do with cosplay. Um, this says that cosplay began in the late 1930s, but actually, if you look at history, uh, costuming actually goes back further, especially in America. Look at circuses. The people who dressed up as clowns. That's the type of costuming and cosplay. Is just they're they're leaving their world and entering another realm. That's basically what cosplay is. You leave one world to enter another one. But the official start was in late 30s for America, as some people would say. Um, okay, if you guys can see, this is just a yes. The word cosplay did not come out until 1984, which was started by the Japanese reporter Nobuyuki Takayashi. Hello, N girl, NH girl. How are you? Welcome back, Rachel. Hello, Linda. How are you? Um, WonderCon. That's another event that goes on. So, Nobuyuki Takahashi came up with the word cosplay by putting costume play together, and you get cosplay. Who knew? Just by putting two words together, you get that a lot. But yeah, here's some pictures. Why people cosplayed so that they can, as I said, be able to have Halloween all year long. I'm doing good. Um, Let me see if I've got any. It's been okay here. Okay. Okay, my guest is just getting home, so I'll give him a little bit. He will be on, and we'll welcome our guest on board. So yeah, that's basically a brief history of cosplay. Nowadays, it's this big subculture of the United States where everyone dresses up as either their favorite character from a movie, TV show, comic book, video game, or whatever. There's an endless possibility of other. Why, thank you, Kirsten. Sleep well, Captain Blackbeard. Thank you for that comment. But yeah, everyone who does this actually, it has a commonality that they like to do this for fun and all that. I will also, yeah, there's some people do it to raise money. I will talk about. Okay, yeah, what makes a great costume? The attention to detail. So if you're actually thinking of doing an actual character, like, oh, let's see, I'll just go with one that some people you might see a lot at these conventions. Star Wars. If you're going to do a character from Star Wars, if they have been on screen, you have to actually be exactly the same as what it would look like on screen. Because if you're not, people who are diehard fans can tell. You can tell if there's something off on the costume because it's very obvious to see, especially if you've got makeup. Creativity is another one. See here, these guys are instead it's the Sailor Moon group as a rock band played by dudes. Steampunk is another form of cosplay. Um, Actually, you know what? I can. I'll do that, and I'll show those in a little bit. Confidence in yourself as the cosplayer. And these are just some of the risks. The sexual for women, it's the sexual harassment because a lot of women will wear the skimpy outfits. So that's judgment from people who don't understand this world. Those are just some of the. But yeah, that's some of the things that go on. I will stop that. Okay. Let's see. I am going to show you. Let me go to my Facebook page and I will pull up my photos, my album, and I will show you. But also, another thing I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about, for some of you, some major groups that are for cosplay. And of course, they are Star Wars. These are some of the major groups that do Star Wars cosplay, and they are seen to George Lucas as, well, Lucasfilms gives us the rights to do this, to dress up as their characters because they enjoy it just as much as we do. They're the ones that created it. They're big Star Wars fans since early years. Let me go find the album I want. Okay, let's go here. I'm gonna. Okay, albums. Let's see. Give me a second while I look one up. Okay. I gotta redo those. Okay, let's see. Do I want to do that? Okay. Or okay, I'm going to show you. I'm going to go with this one, WonderCon. This was last year, and it was a fun time. I actually didn't dress up, but I enjoyed being there as much as these guys did. So let's go ahead and yes, Chrome tab. This one, share. Okay, this is cosplay. This is where people. This is Haunted Mansion. These two people dressed up as characters from the Haunted Mansion. If you've ever been to Disneyland or Walt Disney World and have read in this is in the elevator, the stretching room, as it's commonly called. But it's either the elevator goes down or it goes up when you do that. And these are two paintings, so that's actually very cool. Let me see if I can. Let's see what. Okay, this is all right. Same characters. This is just random person. Avengers or Marvel right here. Some of you might know these. We got Captain America, Hawkeye, Black Widow, Captain Marvel before she was the superhero, and then I forgot this character's name. But yeah, these are just Han Solo, or not Han, Lando Calrissian, Halo. If you're a big Halo game player, let's see if my guest is here yet. Nope, not yet. So let's just keep chilling. Hopefully, you guys are enjoying this little slideshow I'm doing. Some more. A Wookiee in Mando armor. That's actually very interesting. I didn't realize that they was. But yeah, here's some of the. These are more of the intricate costumes that you will see. Stuff like this, where this would take months to do, especially since you're doing all that fur. That's another thing that especially if you're going to do Chewbacca, the most famous Wookiee out of the Star Wars saga. Ahsoka Tano, for those of you who have watched Star Wars. Harry Potter. Some of you might be able to recognize those three characters if you've watched Harry Potter before. The most famous droid that cussed so much, as I say, they had to bleep every word he said. Some of you might get that joke. Some of you might not. Just depends on your sense of humor. Here's a black astromech unit. This would be an Imperial droid. A stormtrooper, sand trooper, and an AT-AT driver. Let's see, what a Chopper from the show Rebels. So if you've watched that, this is the other group that I would talk about. This is the Mandalorians. They're another cosplay group that is out there for Star Wars. And then you've got whole families that will go to these, dress up as characters and all that, which is fun for family time. It's just fun, especially Star Trek Next Generation. I don't know what character he was, but okay. General Greer, the commander of the AT-AT in Star Wars Empire Strikes Back. Supergirl. This is just one. And then you've got stuff like this, where people will combine two worlds into one. You've got Star Wars with Disney, especially since Disney now owns Star Wars, but this concept of rebel pilots as the Beast or Prince Adam, and Belle. People just go all out on these costumes, and it's amazing. Some of these costumes are just amazing on how they look and what people do when they make these costumes. So if you ever see these out in public, know that these people actually take their time, and it costs money to do this. So it's not something that's real easy and cheap to do. I hope you guys are enjoying this. Black Panther, a female Loki. So you can do the characters in either way. The Batmobile from the 1980 Batman with Michael Keaton and Jack Nicholson as the Joker. And some of these costumes are really awesome. Laura Croft. Here's a Mando type costume. A Twi'lek. Now, and this was at WonderCon here in Anaheim, California. Oh, this was a cool one that I really enjoyed. She's a Rey, but she's got a Star Tours thing for her wheelchair that she has, which was awesome. I really enjoyed it. D23 is actually another good place that you'll see people who there are people who dress up at D23 as well in the Disney. That's all the Disney stuff. All Disney characters. So I'm hoping you guys are enjoying these pictures I'm showing. I do have others albums that I have done. If you guys want to see those, I will show. I probably won't show all of them like I'm doing here. Actually, no, I won't show all of them to you guys. Let's see. I'll show you some. Okay, you got those. Yeah, for photographers, there's endless pictures that you can take at these events. Oh, here's one. Wonder Woman. This was an amazing costume that this person did. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. And you'll see a lot of people dressed up in different variations of this character, Deadpool, because he's one of the famous ones nowadays. Oh, here we go. Here's some other characters that Darth Maul, General Grievous, Imperial officer back there. But yeah, these are just. Oh, okay. Our special guest has shown up. So let us give a warm welcome to Jaden Core, all the way out from the Outer Rim. Hey.
Oh, sorry it took me so long.
Hey, Steven. So, now that you're shown up,
Sorry about that.
why don't you give us Well, you have your other cosplay job that pays you.
Yeah, I work for a mouse. What can I say?
Why don't you tell us a little about yourself?
Well, I've been in live theater since the age of 8. So I've been technically with costumes since 8, maybe earlier. Um, more recently, I work for a major entertainment industry and theme park. That's on the personal side. But regarding costuming, though, I'm with a group called the Saber Guild. I'm also a reserve member of the 501st and Rebel Legion. I have 5 Star Wars costumes. I have an Imperial Royal Guard Episode 6. I have a Darth Vader. I have 2 custom Jedis and a custom Sith. Um, the one group that I'm primarily with is a costume performance group called Saber Guild. And I'm actually the local director of the Outer Rim Temple, which is located in Chino, California, in the Inland Empire of Southern California. So fun times.
And that's the group I'm trying. That's one of the groups I'm trying to join.
Yeah, I'm working on a bounty hunter. So that's coming down. I'm working on that one.
Yeah, and the other group, as he said, bounty hunters. I'm actually reworking on my bucket, as we like to call them.
I haven't even gotten that far. I was lucky enough. I got my armor that was gifted to me. I'm working on the soft goods of my design. I'm on the design aspect of that right now. So
So am I on that side. So, if someone wanted to join, like the Saber Guild,
yep.
What are the rules for joining?
It's fairly simple. As of right now, per our charter, you have to be either 18 or 13 years old with parents' consent. Um, there's some guidelines with a minor, but we'll keep with the 18 aspect. Must be 18. You must have a movie accurate costume that fits our standards. Battle quality lightsaber. And a battle quality lightsaber is a lightsaber that is the hilt is a metal, non-plastic, with a battle quality blade. Um, and then the will to do what we do. We meet up once a week, um, and we beat each other up with lightsabers, um, and it all works out for a charity. So we have fun.
What kind of events do you guys do?
We've done so many different types of events between corporate, private. A lot of them, what we do, at least locally here in Southern California, are charity events or an event that we would classify as a community event, um, like a Relay for Life or Star Wars Reads Day or the library. Um, a lot of events like that, at least for our temple in Chino and the Inland Empire area. Um, we've done Make-A-Wish events. We've done hospital events. We've done private events like for birthdays and things like that. When funds that are raised is given directly to a charity. So, and everything in between.
So, out of the hold on. Out of the characters that you have that you've done,
Mhm.
which one is your favorite?
You had to say that, didn't you? Um, honestly, I love my second Jedi. My first Jedi that I had, I was inspired from a canon resource, or technically now Legends, from the Jedi Academy game, known as Jaden Core. I took the canon version of that and I made that my character. Um, since forming the Outer Rim Temple, I created a complete custom Jedi known as Etain Thrail. That is probably my favorite on the light. However, in the dark, my Agent Sadiq is I really love that costume. It's a hybrid of a Kylo and a Vader hybrid. Um,
We can
It's a
show
long.
show
I'm
your
sorry.
stuff.
What's
We
up?
can show your costumes that we can show your
Oh,
costumes that
how do I do that?
one goes. I can actually. I've already got the website up,
Oh, you cheated. Yeah, my custom Sith I think is
and
by
here is
far my favorite. Um,
here's Steven's little profile on this website, and here you can go to outerrimsaberguild.com, and that will take you to the webpage for at least this group. And here are his characters.
yeah, my two favorites are the first two, the custom Jedi, and then my Darth Siddiq. That's my custom Sith. It's a very heavy and hot costume. I'm utilizing the Vader leather suit as part of the costume. Then you have the outer robe, and then the typical prequel style belt in black and red. Um, it's a very heavy costume. It's a very, very hot costume, but to perform in it is an amazing look and style.
How often do you wear this costume right here?
Honestly, it depends on the events. There's we try to keep things consistent within canon. So we have an Ahsoka, a customer, and she is a Clone Wars, um, episode 3 to episode 6 style. So something like that, I'm not gonna wear my Vader because in the timeline Vader has not shown up. So based on our membership and who can do an event, because we are a volunteer, charity group, um, that kind of dictates which costumes we can and can't do, if that makes sense. Um, we
Okay.
try to keep things as consistent within the Star Wars timeline as possible. Um, honestly, we do about one event a month during normal circumstances, and it just depends on who volunteers. Um, I'm usually one of the last ones to decide if I'm going to go light or dark. I usually wait and see who else is doing the event. Um, because most of my team has one costume, or if they have a second, it's the same, either light or dark. More of my members now are starting, if they have a dark, they're working on a light and vice versa. So it can give us the options. Um, it just depends on what's going on. If I notice that I'm heavy on Jedi, then I'm going to go dark to kind of even things out and vice versa. So it depends. Um, I will say though the Jedi is harder to get into in the long run, but it's more comfortable. My custom Sith is a much
Okay.
it's easier. It's hard to explain. It's easier to get into, but because of how heavy and hot it is, it's harder to work in. But the Jedi, it's very light, but it's multiple layers. You have your under tunic, the outer tunic, the tabards, the obi, belt, pants, boots. All of these things are all little aspects that follow in. Um, where the custom Sith, I literally have the leather suit, um, the outer robe type thing. That's basically a hybrid tabard and outer robe. It literally goes all the way down to my mid calf. Um, and then the belt and an obi. So it's not as many items. Um, but yeah, actually, in that video right there that you see at the bottom of our homepage, I'm wearing the Sith in that show. That one we did in Fullerton for a charity event. Um, our sister temple, our
Yeah.
Temple Prime, was doing two other events that same day, and they had asked if we would support and do that event with them. And we, of course, said yes. We'll always back our teams up if we have the membership to do so.
Oh, why don't we show this video and get to see what goes on at these events?
Sure. Play.
The joys of technology.
Right? Maybe. There it
Oh,
goes.
there.
Might be some delay. We were lucky with this event. It was raining before and after the show. We were very shocked it didn't rain during.
Saint Jedi I have. Be with you soon. They will to celebrate this day of joy. May the Force be with you.
Now with the music, how do you how are you able to use that, especially when putting onto YouTube?
We have an approval from Lucasfilm. They allow us to use their music for charity shows. And since YouTube, we are not monetized in any way. We do not accept any funds in any way for what we do or on our YouTube channel.
Important mission by Master Yoda to rebuild the Jedi Order.
Master Jedi, this is Transport 1138. Are you there?
Sorry about this. It shouldn't take too long. I'm here.
My apologies, Master. However, Master Yoda asked our transport to detour to this planet. Please transmit your location, and we will be landing momentarily.
I see. Sending my location now.
Thanks, Oddball. I'll see you back at the rest of the fleet.
Greetings, Padawan.
Greetings, Master. I was just saying goodbye to Oddball. You know, CC2237? Oh, this is no way to make a first impression. Greetings, Master. I'm Padawan Ahsoka Tano, and I have been sent by the Jedi Council to assist you with this mission.
I see. Did the Council tell you what the mission is?
Not exactly. Well, my master... You know Master Skywalker?
I know of Master Skywalker's reputation.
That's good.
I'm not so sure about that.
Well, see, Master Skywalker...
Where is your master now?
He got into some trouble on Ortu Platonia, and Master Kenobi had to lend him a hand again. You know what I mean, Master.
I see. Back to the task at hand. Like I said earlier, the Jedi have been sent on a very important mission by Master Yoda to rebuild the Jedi Order. Who amongst you would like to become a Jedi Knight? Good. Oh, I'm sorry, you're much too old to begin the training. The first thing a Jedi uses is the Force. What's the Force? The Force is what gives the Jedi their power. It's an energy field created by all living things. It surrounds us and binds the galaxy together. We Jedi can focus our energy and push it against our opponents, like this. This gives me an excellent idea. I just demonstrated a force push. Now it's your turn. This will be your first trial. Put your hands out like so, and on the count of 3, use a force push. 1, 2, 3, push. Are you pushing? Let's try it again. This time, let's focus a bit stronger. 1, 2, 3, push. Better, but this time, reach out with your feelings. One last time. 1, 2, 3, push. Excellent job. I think some of you were holding back.
Okay, we have a
Second thing
question.
Jedi
Is the
uses
rain bad
is
for
a
the
lightsaber.
costumes?
Not as clumsy
It
or
can
as
be,
random as
depending on how it's
blaster.
made.
A
It
fully
also
trained
depends on the
Jedi
type of
uses
fabric.
a lightsaber.
If you're in a light material that can rip due to weather, but it may have a texture, cotton
I feel
gauze,
cold.
which is typical of
That's
like an
the dark
Anakin
side of the
Skywalker.
Force you're
If it's
sensing.
not
Be
layered
mindful, young Padawan.
appropriately, it could
So,
damage it. Yeah.
this is where Master Yoda has set
Usually,
you
like for my
young
custom
friend.
fit,
Show your
rain
puff.
wouldn't have a
We're
problem with
not
that.
afraid of you or
The
the dark
rain
side
would
of the
wipe right
Force.
off the leather suit, and the thick. As you can see, there's the copy there. The rain wouldn't damage it well at all.
Join me, and I will complete your training as one of my assassins. These younglings will never join you as long as the Jedi are here.
For an event like this, how long is the? How long do you guys train?
Assassin.
We're always training on our different fights, and then typically we try to give ourselves minimum 3 weeks. We try to have as much notice as possible. It just depends on the show and how much leeway we have and how much time we have to set up. This one, it was a short amount of time. It was a last minute event. What we try to do is we try to pick a partner that has a similar work schedule as your partner. So you kind of figure out what events and what days you could do events. And typically you're working with your partner consistently. So you're always working on your fight. So you always have something ready. Actually, the two that are fighting right now are actually from Temple Prime. They joined us for the event.
Have a question from the audience.
Yeah.
Do you have a fight choreographer? Somebody who specifically just choreographs the fights for you?
Yes and no. I have over 17 years of martial arts experience, as well as stage combat experience. So I try to let our members choose their own fights, but when they have questions, myself and one of our other members would help give guidance. He also has many years of martial arts experience as well, and we use that knowledge to help guide us. Not that we're using martial arts in the shows, but it's in a martial art form. It has a flow, and these follow that same suit. I've handled every Japanese weapon. I would not say I'm proficient perfectly in it, but at least the samurai sword and the staff, I'm fairly decent with. I use that experience when I choreograph fights. We also have what's called our saber alphabet, and all of our members learn the A through Z stripes, and you could build a fight with these letters and alphabets, and you can find that on our website as well.
So your character here that you're playing.
Yeah.
How come with you have a dual lightsaber like Darth Maul?
It's a personal choice. I fight with either a staff or I can also do a single hilt. It depends on the show. If we know we're having a small performance area, I would recommend to the team no staffs. Keep it simple. If we have a larger area, like we were able to perform at the Big Bear Renaissance Fair this last summer, we had the entire jousting arena. So we were able to spread out and use a lot of space. So if we wanted to have a staff or have multiple people with two sabers, we had the ability to do that. We try to take the event into account when we're choreographing a fight in a show. Also, I really like the staff. I like it.
Is it much harder to fight with the staff than just a single? Or
yeah, it can be. Sometimes it's easier. It just depends on who you're fighting, where their skill level is. We have people from all walks of life that have no experience doing any type of combat. And I have people that have been doing live shows like myself for years. And we try to match people up to the same skill level, and that's why we get together every week so we can enhance and perfect those skills. I've seen people who have had no experience, and now they're one of my best performers because they've taken the time and the dedication to do what we do. And that's a huge accomplishment. But that's why we get together. We get together every week so we can do our best, run through our fights. Nothing we do is hello. Nothing we do is sorry. Nothing we do is just made up right then and there. Everything we do is planned, choreographed. It is detailed down to the last minute. We plan everything from the beginning to the best of our ability. There's always sometimes things pop up and it's out of our control, but we do our best to try to troubleshoot all of those way beforehand. So, and everyone has to perform their fights before they can even perform in a show to make sure, one, they're safe. That is our biggest thing, safety.
Here you have learned a great many things. Let's join me.
We've already told you, we'll never join the dark side.
You have been defeated by the Jedi. I suggest
and this
you
is typical.
leave this planet.
Usually the bad guys lose.
So be it, Jedi.
It happens.
The last of me.
Every once in a while, we have a couple shows where the bad guys win.
yeah, I've noticed that from the other shows that I've seen of you guys.
Yeah, remember, most of our shows are charity based, so we're always trying to tell a story, and usually our undertone message is that joining together, working with friends, working with others, you can do anything, and you can defeat anything by working together. Being a lone case is not always the best, but we're always trying to give a positive message within our shows. But every once in a while, when we have like a show, if we do a convention, sometimes the convention shows they'll have a different ending, and we can do that. Our charter allows us certain availabilities on convention or shows that are a ticketed event. Usually, we won't have any deaths, even in the name Star Wars, the war. But because we do a lot of charity events, we don't want to have that aspect within the show. We'll capture, we'll injure, but we will never kill in a charity event. But a convention, not so much. And you can actually see all of our videos on our website. Oh, did I lose you? Come back. Did I lose you? James, you there?
Okay, I think we're good.
Oh, there you are. You're back. Hey.
Yeah, I'm here. Are you here?
Yeah, as you can view all of our shows in our video log. We have, if you open up our video log, you'll have event videos, you'll have temple practices. Right now, we're doing a whole bunch of virtual practices since we can't meet up weekly. We're actually working out and doing a whole bunch of stuff virtually. We also have some training videos. So, yeah.
And here are their videos.
Yeah, it's a playlist. You can actually
And
open up that
can the
playlist
group be
and-
found on YouTube under the same name?
Yeah, it's Outer Rim Saber Guild. You can actually go through all of them. We have basically when we do a show, we try to edit our video as quickly as we can, and we try to post it as quickly as possible. That is one of our virtual practices. So they're all there. So. The bottom one is a Make-A-Wish video. That was a one that we got a request directly from Make-A-Wish to help grant that boy's wish. It was actually a 2-part event. We were lucky enough to get some support from the Oakley factory in Irvine, California. They granted us permission to utilize their facility as a Jedi temple here on Earth. Benton is the name of the child. His wish was to be a Jedi Knight and defeat Darth Vader. What a great wish. Needless to say, he loved it. It was a 2-day event. It actually spanned a week. We started on a Saturday, and then the wish ended the following Friday. And we actually did the final wish, which is actually the screenshot you're looking at here is a screenshot from the final night at the Make-A-Wish gala event, where they do one of their biggest fundraising events of the year at that location. It was a fun event. If you have the opportunity later on, it is a long video. I would say if you have the opportunity, give it a chance, watch it. We made his night, and we found out he is now in remission, which is amazing. So
that's good to hear.
Yeah, it is truly amazing. But that's why we do it. We do it for the charity, for the events that we love doing. We love spreading the joy of Star Wars.
And that's what a lot of guys do, especially I love doing that. And another group that both me and Steven are trying to join this is one of the other groups, one of the other major groups. Most people will recognize and go, look, Boba Fett. For those of you, this is the Mandalorian cosplay group. That does the same thing as the Jedi Temple. And then another of the major Star Wars groups that you can find. Once it loads. Is this one, the 501st?
Yep.
Which, from my understanding, is a worldwide group just like Mando's. Is the Saber Guild international, or is it just a something that's in the United States?
We are worldwide. We have over 30 locations. We're not as large because of what we do as a performance aspect. We have a much smaller pool. A lot of people like dressing in costumes and rather just pose for photos, which is perfectly fine. We go to the next step with the combat. So we have a smaller pool from membership aspect. I think we're close. We're between 800 and 900 members worldwide. Where the File First, I believe, is up to the 10,000 ish. I know they've hit 10,000. Me personally, I'm a reserve member. What that means is I'm a member, but I'm not an active member. Because of the fact I am a local leader with the Saber Guild, my focus and energy is there. That's where my dedication is. I am a member of the File First. I'm a member of the Rebel Legion, but like I said, I'm a reserve member. I don't do events with them in that aspect. We are all the clubs between the File First, Rebel Legion, Saber Guild, Dark Empire, Mandalorian Mercs, Archie Builders. We all work well together. And we all do events together. I have good friends in all these clubs. They may not be part of my club, and that's perfectly fine. Everyone has a specific niche and a draw that they love. It doesn't mean that we come, that means we come together to make one giant story for the fans and the kids that see us. I keep telling people when the population, in general, they don't see the individual clubs. They see Star Wars characters. And that's what we try to bring to them. Yes, we're have multiple different clubs, but we're telling one story. And that's the story of Star Wars.
That was going to be the next question. If a person wanted to, could they join more than one Star Wars club?
Of course. I know several people have actually joined. I believe there is 6 affiliated Star Wars clubs that are recognized by Lucasfilm, and you can find them on StarWars.com. I know people that are members of every single one of them. We're responsible adults. As long as you remain responsible, you'll have no problems. And it just depends on the type of costume. Saber Guild is a very specific style of costumes. We're Jedi and Sith. It has to be a force-wielding, lightsaber-wielding character. That being said, just if someone wanted to be a costumer that picked up a lightsaber once, that wouldn't qualify. But if it's someone that is consistently utilizing a lightsaber, we would accept it. Also, and the difference between the Saber Guild and, let's say, File First is strictly all canon costumes, which means it has to be a canon source. Saber Guild allows canon as well as custom creativity within reason. You have to fit the style and the criteria that has been set by our global council. Same thing as the Rebel Legion, the File First. All the major costuming clubs have a costume reference library, or what they call CRLs, which is a costume resource that you can read the rules to build a costume.
Actually, talking about that, let's end that one. Go ahead and share. Let me go ahead and show you guys what he's talking about with the 501st. They also have one for, as I said, Rebel Legion and others. These are just canon characters that you can do. Let's do groups by detachment. And here we go. Let's go with, here we go, Blizzard Force. These are...
So the Blizzard Force would be everything within the...
These are the... So that's most famous that everyone knows out of this group. Let's show this one. From Empire Strikes Back, the Snowtrooper. Yep. Now you see, they show a picture of the costume. And then, because I've gone through this website quite often, you come down here. Here's a little... reading you have to do, and then it comes to here, like you said, this is where they tell you what needs to be done with the costume.
And
Just
it
to
breaks it down
join.
item by item.
So you can see what all the items you need. Let me see if there's one item that has the optional accessories. Let me go to a character that has. I know that they have characters where they do different. Oh, I know which one. There we go. This one has.
Of course, you bring in these guys. Clone Wars has added so much.
There we go. Standard Trooper.
There you go. That's actually my favorite
Okay.
trooper.
Yeah.
I
think this is also the one that has the. Here we go. This is what I wanted to. So it's as you'll read up here. It says for 501st membership only require the black, and then the optional is if you want to get more detailed or more creative.
It's usually a higher level of difficulty, and there's certain events that are requested by Lucasfilm specifically, and those ones do require a higher caliber. That's why they break it down in different levels. Specific events, especially if it's something that's going to be seen on TV or something like that, we do get asked. Sure, you know, the Mandalorian. They needed some help with some stormtroopers. When they ran out of their budget and they needed more, Lucasfilm reminded the directors and the producing team that there's an avenue that they can ask and see if people are willing and available. And I think they had over 30 members show up. They had a very specific criteria, and they all had to submit photos directly to Lucasfilm. But these type of events happen on occasion. But that's why they require these secondary and third levels. It's you'll notice that the final option, the level 3, is the hardest to do, but it is also the most screen accurate. Some people are allowed, like the back armor on a stormtrooper might be cut. Some people it's solid. It just depends on the level of degree of how far they want to go with it. Some people want it more comfortable, if you can call armor comfortable. But they have these aspects.
Yeah.
They offer neck seals, but if you're doing a specific character, sometimes the neck seal was different in production when they put it in the movie. So if you want to go that next degree to be spot on, you would go for that next level.
Actually, just for the clone troopers, it's just the regular.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for everyone who wants to join 501st or screen accurate, these are basically the rules on how to join.
Yep. And if you are planning on joining any of these clubs, and I do mean any, ask questions. Ask. Your best friend is going to be knowledge. If you don't know how to do something, ask. There's so many people willing and able to help. We also do what's called armor builds, armor parties. Well, not right now, but every club does it to some sort of a degree,
Yeah.
where they will set up parties at a member's house, and they'll tell people, okay, if you're trying to build a costume, we're going to have people with sewing machines. We're going to have people that can help you with armor, people to help you with painting, and everyone chips in. Everyone helps. Ask. Knowledge is you're going to be your best friend.
Does the Saber Guild do armor builds?
Every temple does it differently. Before this whole mess, we've been working with the local clan of the Mandalorian Mercs to try to do a joint group, because we are trying to do a within the Saber release in the Outer Rim Temple. We were trying to do a temple build of a specific costume. It's our Inquisitor costumes. We're trying. There's several armor pieces that are required, and we were trying to join forces so we can crank out a whole bunch of them in one day, and get people who are working on costumes. If there's things they need to do, you would have the ability to do it.
Okay. Has the Saber Guild gotten any requests from George Lucas for premieres or stuff like that before in the past?
And not necessarily George Lucas. Saber Guild has been invited, along with the main clubs, to all the premieres. I've personally was granted access to the episode 8, and then I also went to the Mandalorian premiere. It's a once in a lifetime event to do. I know if you've been to an event, we try to ask our membership to let someone else do it. The Mandalorian event, I did not plan on going. It was a last minute decision. There was spots available, and it was literally, hey, the event is tomorrow. Can you go? And we're like, sure. Things like that do pop up. It's rare. I mean, it is very rare. And when they pop up, it's last minute, just because the nature of the business of Hollywood. They're always doing things, working on things. It truly is a once in a lifetime event. I would love to do it again, but if I am offered again, I'm going to pass it to another member if they're available, because I want them to enjoy it as well.
Now here's a big question. When the Rose Parade happened, was the Outer Rim offered a chance to join the rest of the clubs to march in that parade when Star Wars was in the Rose Parade?
When was that? What year? I think that was actually 2000.
That was
that 2007? Because Saber Guild was founded. I think Saber Guild was founded technically 2008. So if it was before that, no. I do know that our founder was one of the stormtroopers in that parade, but I don't think the Saber Guild was actually formed during that time.
Yeah, 2007.
Yeah, it was before.
When Google is saying they were in the parade.
Yeah, that was, but just probably.
Okay, that was another. That was me. Question. So Saber Guild, out of the Star Wars clubs, is the youngest. Is that correct?
Hold on. I know we are one of the youngest. Hang tight. Stop that. Of the recognized clubs. 1 second here. Yeah, I would say out of the there are technically 7 recognized Star Wars clubs that are on um, StarWars.com, and Saber Guild is the youngest of those specifically. Um, but yeah, the Mandalorian Mercs and the Dark Empire were founded. I want to say 04, maybe 05. I think I'm not 100% certain on that one. Yeah, but of the 8 major clubs, yeah, I would say Saber Guild is the youngest of them. And that's primarily because Lucasfilm at one time had requested the costume clubs not to do any combat shows. So it was
Okay.
members of those clubs. There were several people that were from Rebel Legion, and several people from File First, like we had a Darth Vader and things like that. They created their own group called the Saber Guild. We were able to gain Lucasfilm recognition. We explained, and by the time that this all came about, Lucasfilm had then rescinded that request. And Lucasfilm now has said that you guys can do whatever you want, just it has to be your members, not the public, which is perfectly fine. But the other clubs have chosen to this day to maintain that, where they do not do, and it's actually written in their own bylaws, they don't do combat. The clubs were not designed for that. And when Lucasfilm rescinded that request, that's when Saber Guild was founded and formed. We were given the green light by Lucasfilm to do it, as they gave us some guidelines. They say, please do not do X, Y, and Z. And they basically told us, as long as you do that, we'll be fine. And it's all within our guidelines in our charter, the do's and don'ts, things that we don't do, things that we are allowed to do. And it also comes down to the local leadership to maintain that. So it's the other clubs have chosen not to do combat, where Saber Guild is the only one doing it. We are the preferred performance group for Lucasfilm. Not to say that we're the only, we're not. There are multiple costume performance groups, but I can say we are the only one that does it that's on StarWars.com.
Okay. So if somebody wanted to request you guys, how would they go about and do that?
You can do kind of 2 different ways. So you can either go to our global website at saberguild.org, and there's a contact field. You can explain what your type of event is and where it's located. If you happen to know what temple or Saber Guild temple is near you, like Outer Rim, we have our own website. You can contact us through that website as well. Either way, if it goes to global, they're going to reach out and ask where's the event located if you didn't tell us, and then they will push that to the closest temple, or if it was granted a specific temple request. I know there was one, we did an event that was technically Orange County. That's not within my temple's jurisdiction, but it was a request. It was actually one of my bosses. He had asked my temple specifically to do the show. It was a birthday party for his son. He was donating money to Make-A-Wish. Our temples, we work hand in hand. We have members that bounce. I have members that will join another temple's show and vice versa. We work well with each other. We have no problems with that. Usually it'll go to global, and then they push it to the closest temple that would fit that geographic location. And the other clubs do something similar along. Each club does it slightly different, but basically you can reach out through their main website, and then the global administration would then push it to the local area that handles that geographic area to see if they can do it. It is a volunteer organization. Everything we do it, volunteer. Does our work lives allow it? That's one of our biggest things. So we do our very best to accommodate every request. But there are sometimes, if my temple is not available, I'll ask one of our other temples, hey, would you like to do this event? We have a team doing a show already at the same time. If we can accommodate it, we will. If we can't, then we unfortunately have to reject the request just because we don't have an availability, a team. But we do our best. We really do.
Yeah. Yeah. Let me. I went to. And actually, I've got pictures of the 501st doing a charity event. Like you said, you can go straight to their website, which I did, and they'll come. If they have members, they'll contact the person in charge and hash out all the details of that event. Which was the event I'm talking about is one event is an event that I'm a part of that we've been doing for I think 11 years now. And I know you guys couldn't do it because it was I think you didn't have anyone available that day.
Yeah, like I said, it all comes down to availability and who can make an event. Since we are a combat group, I've had events where I've had all Jedi. I do need one bad guy to do a combat show. So that's why a lot of my members are working on opposite costumes, where they could flip flop if needed, and if it is required. Like I said, there's times I have all Jedi, and I go, well, I guess I'm going bad, and I'm fighting everyone. It happens. We do our
Let me
best.
find that album. Here we go. Okay. No, you don't want to see that. Those pictures. I'll show this picture. And me, I was just at the time that I did this, the year before I because I'm joining Mandalorian Marks, I requested to see if they would come. And I got 3 guys to come in costume, and the kids, everyone loved it. Last year, actually, let me show the turnout of last year's. And this was doing the 501st and again asking the clan that's in this area for the Mandalorian mercs to come out. Now I'll see if the picture will pull up. There we go. This was the turnout for last year. Here are the 2 from the Mandalorians. And then the rest of this group was just from the 501st. And as you can, once this one pulls, as you can see, the crowd enjoys it. They enjoyed it being there. They actually said they would enjoy coming back again. So this is, as Stephen was talking about, some of the stuff that the clubs do.
Yep.
Now, cosplay, is it cheap, or does it cost a little bit of money?
This is not a cheap hobby. a lightsaber, a battle quality lightsaber, is going to run you at least $100 for at bare minimum. That's no sound, nothing flash, just on, off. That's it. The average costume is going to be with boots, belt. You're looking around 500 at least. It's all the little add-ons, but it's all those little extra touches that make the costume come to life. You know, a lot of the fruit capsules. Hey, I recognize those. I
And
recognize those.
for all of those people,
Yeah.
this is how they look beforehand. Actually, no, they're actually more rougher than this. This is actually
Yeah,
after
those are
sanding them for
3D printed.
3 hours.
Yeah. Yeah.
And this one is also 3D printed, bought off of Etsy from April Storm shop. She does great quality, as you can see, of
But
helmets.
it's
I'm
not.
just missing the antenna part.
Now, do you have your visor? Do you have the visor for it?
Actually, I screwed up on it, but I have the template she sent.
Okay.
So I got to get new plastic. I've already got.
I do have a contact that has. I have a contact for you for a visor if you need one. Off Etsy, they have I think 12 different colors of lenses, depending on the style and look you're going for. If you're interested, and we'll talk later on that.
Yeah, we can. I can still keep this going, and we can talk on this live stream afterwards, and no one else will hear it. But yeah,
it depends
as he
on what's
said,
going on. It's not a cheap hobby. And then when you do the costume, you always find, ooh, I want to enhance it. I want to make it better, So, and then you just upgrade it and keep upgrading until you're happy with it. And you'll never be happy. Trust me on that one. It's I know the average.
I'm actually outsourcing my armor parts to a friend of mine.
Yeah. The average stormtrooper costume can be anywhere between $500 and $1,200. Now, if you have access to a vacuum form and make your own molds, as you can do it cheaper, of course, but you have to have those tools. If you don't, then you have to source it or find someone who does. All these little details,
Actually, I know they don't have any available, but for those of you who want to join the 501st as a stormtrooper, if that's your favorite character, I'm going to show you a website that is one of the favorites of the 501st. And at the moment, they don't have any full ensembles, but they do have kits for pre-sale. Okay, now I've got it to the Star Wars. And Steven might know the website I'm talking about if he's looked at it or...
Depends.
And also, this also is the company that has gotten approval and used actual prop pictures to make their stuff. And here it is. This is the website called Anovus, which has anything Star Wars you would like.
Yeah, they're the one manufacturer that has the.
And for those of you who have seen The Mandalorian,
yeah.
And here you go, people. For those of you who've watched The Mandalorian, there is an actual helmet that they are selling. As you can see, there is the price.
Yeah.
Of just a helmet alone.
And a lot of people are taking those helmets, and honestly, these are from Novos, but with 3D printing becoming more and more available, and the quality is getting better and better with those. A lot of people are actually making their own, or and having or getting someone to make it for them, and then like you did, taking the time to sand it down, bondoing it, sanding it down again, filling in all the little gaps and seams till you get something that's nice and smooth, and you get a base layer of paint on it, and you just do little by little. This type of costuming, it's not a quick job. It takes months, sometimes years, to do a full costume right. Um, I always tell people, don't rush it, don't do it all at once. Um, I tell people, if especially for Saber Guild, get your saber. That's step one. Step two, let's sit down and let's talk about your costume. I'm a big one on, I don't want people to spend money they don't need to spend. Um, I like to sit down and, okay, what type of color scheme are you thinking for your costume? All right, let's start sourcing your costume. The type of pants, the type of boots, the tunics, belts. Some of our members can make costumes. If we can't make it, then we know like Etsy shops or things like that will be able to make it. It just depends on what your needs are.
Okay, yeah. And as of right, if you wanted to do like say original Stormtrooper, Imperial Stormtrooper from episodes 6 or 4, 5, and 6, right now they're out of stock. But this would be the ensemble. Would be everything all done just from them, and that's before shipping as well and taxes. But that's that, or a premiere version of the First Order, which is a higher quality of material that they use. Like I say, it's not cheap, but if you're willing to shell out the money, it's worth it. All right. Well, thank you, Stephen, for coming on and giving a little history of Saber Guild and some of the Star Wars groups.
Anytime.
I hope everyone has enjoyed this little talk show. I'm hoping to do more of these in the future. So be on the lookout. There might be actually some that are just straight Star Wars again. So we might get to see him again. Or maybe some other Star Wars fans.
You never know.
But those of you who are new or have enjoyed, if you feel like, go ahead and like this stream, share it out, let your friends see it. And if you're new, go ahead and hit that red button down below. I know it says what it says. It says SCRIB. That's actually Russian for YouTubian. Don't worry, it's Russian. So that's what it means. It says YouTubian. So go ahead and hit that. Ring the bell so you get notified on when I go live and when I drop content, because I'll probably be dropping some Star Wars content as well. Hopefully all of you enjoyed, and you guys out there have a good day, night, wherever you are, and I will see you next week, Friday at 4 p.m. Later, everyone.